Something very exciting is happening in biohacking and particularly longevity. We are now getting a clear idea of where it's headed, and it's pretty crazy. Today, the future of longevity. This is Biohacking News. Hello and welcome to Biohacking News. I'm Tony Wrighton. Conferences everywhere over the past week or so. A lot of the sort of leading speakers and thought leaders in the world of biohacking and longevity were in Saudi Arabia, and many others for the first biohacking conference there, and many others were in Australia. David Sinclair, Dr. Will Cole, and Wim Hof were in Australia, and really pleased today to say that my guest today was also speaking at that conference alongside Dave Asprey et al., and that's Chris Barnes. Chris, how you doing?
Absolutely awesome, Tony. So awesome to be here, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, really well. Pretty tired actually because you're in Australia. I'd sort of written an intro. I don't know if my words came out in the right order, but it's very early my time, or it feels quite early. So don't normally do podcasts at this time. But thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations on last weekend. I know it was a real success, and you were obviously speaking there as well. First of all, tell my audience who might not have heard of you before a little bit about what you do and where you are and so on.
I'm based on the Gold Coast in Australia, and I work in DNA testing, epigenetic testing, all geared around helping people to just better understand those unique bio-individual needs that we all have, going away from just the cookie cutter approach to diet and nutrition. We get to the root of how to eat and what supplements do you need, and just all the great information that is involved in our genetic blueprint. So I run a DNA coaching business in Australia.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, so this event last weekend sounded absolutely brilliant. Was it quite near you? Was it quite near you?
Mate, it was literally in my backyard. It was absolutely magic.
Great.
So Wanderlust ran the first ever biohacking conference here in Australia.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely epic. It was just everything that we could have imagined and had been kind of yearning for years. I've been kind of silently waiting for this for about 6 years, ever since I came back from Austin, Texas, over at Paleo Effects, when I visited that, and it just opened my mind up to this whole world of health optimization and biohacking and longevity, and they did it on a grand scale. And Wellspring was just a seed planted in Australia for that. We had Dave Asprey there, the godfather of biohacking, David Sinclair, Will Cole, Wim Hof, amongst so many other really amazing thought leaders. And it was just a true honor to be able to one, attend that, but also go there and contribute as a speaker as well.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. You and I were probably at the same Paleo Effects back in the day in Austin.
Could have been, mate.
We certainly. But I mean, this is the thing. In the past, there didn't used to be. There was one or two events in the world, and they were all in America. And we all had to spend a lot of money going over to America to satisfy our thirst for knowledge and wanting to hang out with similar people. And now we can do it all over the world, which is nice, isn't it?
So true, mate. So true. It's we're a long way away from everyone over here in Australia, and we haven't had anything like this here. We've had health events and things, but nothing like what we just experienced. So it's so cool to finally have something, and so close to home as well.
Yeah, but I feel like the scene in Australia is quite interesting. Obviously, we've had Andy from Bon Charge on a couple of times, and it, simply because of the environment, it's so conducive to living a healthy lifestyle that a lot of people do. I don't know if that's just sort of because I tend to hang out with those sorts of people or not, but it seems like a place where there's quite a lot going on at the moment.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Like I've been in this space for some time now, and before getting into the DNA testing, epigenetic testing, I was running fitness centers here on the Gold Coast, and I think per capita we've probably got some of the most gyms and health conscious people. So beautiful beaches and very health conscious people.
That's great. Well, look, today it's a big title. It's a big premise and promise. We're looking at the future of longevity, and I think that is because over this last week there's been some really exciting stuff going on at these conferences that have been going on around the place, and we're sort of getting an idea of where things are going. And so, firstly, it's really nice to talk to you so soon after everything's finished in Australia, because I know it was a massive event, and obviously follow a lot of these speakers that were at your event that you were keynoting at as well on Instagram and so on. And you had as well as your talk, you had the likes of David Sinclair and Dr. Will Cole and Wim. So
Wim.
what was Wim, who's obviously amazing and has been on this podcast as well. And it'd just be great to hear a little bit about. I think David Sinclair's talking about human trials quite soon, isn't he?
Yeah. Very, very interesting. They've had some big breakthroughs with some of the anti-aging studies and reversing kind of eyesight loss in mice as well. So yes, David signified that early next year they're hoping to start these trials on people. So it's pretty exciting. He seemed to think that it won't be long before people will be able to experience some really drastic age reversal. Pretty exciting, really.
That's really great. Yeah, actually, in terms of eyesight, I know it's slightly different to what you're talking about there, but like that's the one thing I can't. I'm really trying to biohack it, and I speak to others about it as well. But definitely, and I know that. I'm like 51, and my eyes were absolutely amazing until I was about 41. And there's been a slight decline. And I've had a few great eyesight experts on this podcast, but I still can't quite crack it. So that's what we need at one of these conferences, just be able to crack our eyesight.
100%, mate. I can relate. I'm 43, and I've only just really realised that short-sighted. I can't read very well when it's really close. I need to. My wife passes like the mobile phone to me to read, and I have to go like this away from me. It's the first time I've ever noticed that.
But have you heard of these pinhole glasses, which you put on, and honestly, it's crazy. All they are is glasses with holes in them. The holes have got to be the exact. It's not worth getting a cheap pair on Amazon. You want to buy it from someone who knows what they're talking about. But it basically is. It's absolutely insane how it makes. I can read all the text on my screen super clear now. I can see you super sharp now, and and it's because it's narrowing the refractions of light coming into your eye, so it takes away all the blur. So they reckon if you use these every day for 15, 20 minutes, you can actually improve your eyesight as well. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay. Up for the challenge. I'm keen.
Yeah. So that's cool. What was your talk on?
So I was talking about emotional health span, emotional resilience, in particular, identifying key stress genes that we all carry. So helping people understand that when it comes to stress, we're all very much wired differently, and some people get far more affected by it. So by identifying these key stress genes, then you can just better understand your propensities to stress and triggers, and then support them uniquely. So you don't gonna come home from work wired and tired and not understand why, and then dive back into work and work through to 2 a.m. and then end up burning out. And just understanding how certain genes can impact brain inflammation and brain stress, further accentuating that decline. Emotional resilience, stress resilience, it's one of the real pillars for optimal aging and longevity.
And I think that is, and I know your talk went down incredibly well with everybody who went there. And I know that's got people really excited. And that does sort of tie in with the theme that I wanted to talk to you about today, which is this future of longevity. I mean, how much are people now really looking at genes in terms of a very personalized approach to medicine and health?
So much. It's advanced so rapidly, and there's been some really big conversations, big platforms, people like Gary Brecker talking about like methylation genes. And I know that when I started my business here in Australia, the conversation wasn't an easy one. genetics was seen and viewed very clinically. People thought it was just relating to identifying like a Alzheimer's gene or a cancer gene. Now people are realizing that it's so much more unique to understanding how they're wired for stress, how they are wired for neurotransmitters, how they activate certain vitamins and minerals for optimal energy. And people are really interested in that now. They're tired of just Band-Aid approaches to symptoms and really are very curious about how they're coding inside and what they can do to support it.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly say that the discovery that I made around 10 years ago, around that sort of paleo effects time, or maybe even a little bit earlier, that I'm a very poor methylator. I would honestly say that it changed my life. It possibly saved my life. I mean, I was so inflamed and so bad at detoxifying. The only thing is that I didn't have the classic, although to be honest, I haven't looked at it in a few years, and I'm sure you've got way more up-to-date research, but I didn't have the classic MTHFR gene that might suggest that I wouldn't be very good at methylating, but I clearly wasn't. And when I started taking methylating vitamins, it was like a light had been switched on, and I felt the best I'd ever felt for a couple of weeks. And then I had a massive Herxheimer reaction, and I needed to dial down the dose big time. But it really was sort of a real changing moment for me.
Oh, absolutely, and that's really common, right? Like often people think that you need to have these full homozygous risk genes with MTHFR, but if you've got even like a slight variant, and then you're eating the wrong types of foods that are fortified with folic acid, which further just depletes your ability to activate or absorb more of the natural folate or convert methylfolate, you can be majorly deficient. And then that cascade is poor emotional balance, poor energetic system, poor detoxing, and the list goes on. And I've seen that in so many people, right? Like it can just be one simple food sensitivity, lactose, which has decimated their gut their whole life, and just tweaking that by understanding that has been, profound.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like, I mean, when I actually think, you sort of forget sometimes, but certainly, I mean, my little sideline that I don't spend that much time on, but I like helping people with it, is histamine intolerance, simply because I had it for 25 years, and then I managed to sort of start to sort it out. And even now, I wouldn't say I'm 100% better. I'm about 98% better. But then I ended up writing the books on histamine intolerance, and I've got a website on it and Instagram and so on. And just the other day, I was reading a comment from someone, and I posted about avocados. And this year, for the first time in 10 years, I've reintroduced avocados. It's amazing. I've just forgotten. I just haven't eaten avocados for 10 years. And it's amazing to give it. It feels like such a massive win. But yeah, it's really very, very debilitating, when you have to sort of restrict yourself from so many foods.
Histamine intolerance is one of the worst. It hit me hard.
Did it?
Not long. I'm somebody that carries some pretty weighty MTHFR methylation genes, and we know that methylation is profound for histamine clearance, and people that don't can be affected. But for me, it was mold exposure and the whole cascade of that just flared up my body, inflamed my body. My gut was off, my liver was off, and then everything I would eat, I'd have like this histamine reaction, right? Like spices, avocados, I couldn't touch. It was a really big journey to calm that whole process down. And for me, I don't know about you, Tone, what the most effective thing was, but tidying up my liver and tidying up my stomach made a big difference to how I processed histamines.
The stomach. I mean, that was where it always showed up for me. And certainly straight away, to be honest, going on a low histamine diet, it was incredible how much better I felt within about 3 days. But then long term, exactly the same thing, because obviously you want to figure out the reason behind the histamine intolerance. And for me, it was also mold and mycotoxin exposure. And I guess it's beautiful weather where you are, but it's quite damp, right? Is that right?
Yesterday it just poured down, but the last 12 months has probably been the wettest it has ever been here. And so much mold growing everywhere on the Gold Coast. It's a real problem.
Yeah. So detoxing the mycotoxins, getting them out of the system, is a whole different kettle of fish. I think there's still some work to do there, but it certainly seems to be going better than it was before. And in terms of longevity, then, what are some of the, many people listening to this will have at some point done, I don't know, a 23andMe test. They might not want to do a 23andMe test now, but a different one. And they might have those results sitting somewhere. And many people have heard about the MTHFR gene, or if they're into histamine intolerance, they might have heard about DAO. But what are some of the other ones that we might look for and that you would consider to be that future of longevity that you were speaking about at the weekend?
With regards to specific genes?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, what are the sort of things that you do with clients when you're looking
absolutely.
at longevity and peak health and a good life as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the key areas beyond like supporting that methylation system is looking at detoxification, in particular glutathione-based genes like GPX, GSTP1, these ones that play a big role in how we neutralize all those chemical threats, all the toxins that come into our body. Because some people genetically are very vulnerable. They carry some strong genetic weaknesses here, which just means that like when we're exposed to heavy metals or endotoxins just from dysbiosis in our gut, or poor sleep, or too much alcohol, they light up more inflammation, more oxidative stress in the body. And both of those, inflammation and chronic oxidative stress, are some of the biggest accelerants for aging. And beyond that, looking at mitochondrial health, in particular, excuse me, there's one called PPARG1CA. This is a really interesting gene because it plays a role in mitochondrial biogenesis, so building big, healthy mitochondria. Again, a lot of people carry these vulnerabilities where they just don't build healthy mitochondria. And the other one is a gene called SOD2, which produces superoxide dismutase. Really, really important for, again, protecting inside of the mitochondria from those hits when you're making energy. People, if they don't produce enough of that, then over time they'll get more damage and then dysfunctional mitochondria. These things, again, will just accelerate you faster than you should, which nobody wants. So we identify those and then put those supports in on a daily basis. And there's so many things you can do to support those.
Wow, that's really, really cool. Yeah. I mean, that is the future of longevity, isn't it? It's personalized data and personalized approaches to healing, which is so different to do on a cookie cutter. You just can't really do it on a group basis.
It's not possible, mate, because like when you see enough genetic reports, you really do notice it. There's so much diversity in people because we come from so many different parts of the world, and from mum and dad passed down there. So we have this information available now, and it really should be accessible for everyone because it's so powerful. Once you start to eat in line with that and sleep in line with that and attend to any of those vulnerabilities, like your health innately will thrive.
Yeah, absolutely. So is that what I mean, like, so you just look at these reports all the time? It must be like sort of you're very comfortable looking at a report and finding the vulnerabilities or finding the areas to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing this for over 5 years now, specifically looking at genetics, but also epigenetics, and looking at more like DNA methylation aspects, biomarkers that can drive aging, pace of aging. The more you look at it, the more it starts to make sense. And I definitely start to see patterns in people when they're dealing with emotional dysregulation or just chronic stress, toxicity, and then you look at those genes and you can see vulnerability.
And what have you learned from your own research and experience in this area that you've introduced into yours and your family's lives? What are the sort of things you think, oh, okay, I keep seeing this, therefore I should do that?
I know I've run the DNA tests on all of our family, and it's really, really interesting just to see
Yeah,
the cross similarities amongst all of them.
yeah,
Sugar, trying to moderate the amount of sugar
right.
that
I
my
mean, it's pretty
family
hard, isn't it,
consumes.
with kids?
It's
They
so
they
hard
just
with
love it.
they're so addicted to it, and you can see genetically, like cues in certain genes that are more prone to sugar addiction
Mm,
and inhibition shutting off when they do have too much sugar. And I can see it in my
yeah,
son. Just he won't have one lolly. If there's a bag there, he would just keep eating and eating. So that's the
yeah.
biggest challenge for me
That sounds
to
familiar. Don't worry about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
try and
yeah,
support those genetic needs that they have, and then also understand those behavioural aspects that they all have. It's a work
yeah,
in progress. And then
yeah.
understand from such a young age if they do have any like MTHFR or um, neurotransmitter potential imbalances
Mm, mm.
genetically to support them, which will only help their learning and development as well.
Yeah. Um, that's absolutely fascinating. I haven't done that with my son, but I would really like to. I've assumed that since I'm a poor methylator, he probably is as well. And he takes some decent methylated kids vitamins. I really like Seeking Health. I don't know what you think of them, but I think they're
Love Seeking
great.
Health. Yeah,
Yeah,
one of my favorites, Dr.
yeah,
Ben Lynch. His book
yeah.
Dirty Genes. For anyone listening, if they want to
Oh, it's great.
understand these
Yeah,
genes, it's an amazing one. And his supplements are next level as well. And they've got great kids
yeah.
vitamins as well.
The only thing is, I made the mistake of buying. There's a good brand in the UK, Tonic Health, and they have methylated vitamins as well, and they're much
Yeah,
easier for us to get, but they're gummies. So and the dosage isn't quite as strong. And I made the
yeah.
mistake of giving my child the gummies, and now he doesn't want to go back to the Seeking Health ones, which are a little bit crunchier.
The kids love the gummies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a brand I think from iHerb called Smarty Pants, and I introduced them to my kids once,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, it's all they want now.
So is that a good brand? Because actually iHerb is something very obviously we're here in Portugal rather than the UK, which presents its own unique shipping challenges. Is that a good brand, or are there any other good brands while we're on
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Look, I love Seeking Health. I know Thorn are a good brand. The Smarty Pants formulation isn't actually that bad. They have the
Yeah,
methylated B vitamins in there as well. The
yeah,
dosage just isn't near what Seeking Health is, but
okay, yeah,
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 yeah, it's
yeah.
a start.
I mean, the irony is the way to get it down is to put it on a spoon with with some yogurt and a little bit of honey on it, and then you're back in the sugar
You
thing.
got to
But
get
there you go.
creative.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I'd just like to point out that's not for me. That's for my son. I don't take my vitamins with some honey. Good stuff. Okay, and then anything else in terms of your learnings? I mean, it could be. I mean, one of the things that we've introduced some interesting stuff based around family life here. For example, we just found that like blue. I love the idea of blue blockers for kids, and I
Mm,
completely appreciate the sort of the theory behind dimming the lights in the evening. But we've just found that kids blue it just doesn't work, and he's sort of not
yeah, it's
wearing them, always
hard.
take them off, whatever. But we have got actually, do you know what, because I'm recording this today in my studio bedroom or kids bedroom with a green screen, I've got everything here, and we've also got one of
You'd
these.
never
This is
tell.
this is a bond, yeah, it's a bond charge one, so that's a great light,
Oh,
and
nice.
that is lovely to read a bedtime story with a red light rather than the light on. It actually makes a massive
Awesome.
difference. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess from a family health perspective, some of the things that we do with our family now, we've got an infrared sauna and an ice bath, and the kids
Ah,
love
great.
jump. The kids love
Yeah,
jumping in the sauna, and look, they've actually started going in the ice bath as well, which is really cool.
that's fantastic. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So
But
how old are they? Because they're under 10, your kids, aren't they?
yeah, I've got a 10-year-old son,
Yeah,
and a nearly 8-year-old daughter, and a 6-year-old daughter.
yeah. And they're all right in the ice bath, are they?
Well, I didn't think they were going to get in because the first time I tried to get them in, they were like real. Look, mind you, I'm not that extreme with the ice bath. It's
No.
8 degrees, 9 degrees, which is cold enough for me.
Good.
But
That's fine. Yeah.
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 They were jumping in, and
yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I've been on a bit of a journey with ice baths, and now I just don't do them, and I'm really happy not to. But living near the sea here, which is never that warm here in Portugal, but always refreshing, and it can be, I mean, it doesn't get any colder than 15 in winter, and it's really cold, and it feels really great when you get out. So that's good enough for me.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah. And did you get to have a chat with Wim or get to see him talk at the conference at the weekend?
My keynote literally was kicking off straight after Wim, so I had to duck off. I only caught the start of his, but I believe the universe wanted me to witness Wim in action, because I was in the green room waiting just before I went on, and Wim rolled in and then just proceeded to start kind of breathing and doing his
Great,
and
great.
then brought out his harmonica, and he was using the harmonica to Dave Asprey and Will Cole in there, and
that's great.
A really special moment. So
yeah, that's really cool. I bet you were geeking out on that. I would have as well.
I totally was, mate. I was in awe.
He has got a lovely energy, hasn't he?
He really does, mate. And I just love what he's all about.
Yeah. Oh, that's really awesome. And obviously Dave was there as well. And that's great to get him. It's a long old journey from Austin to Australia.
Huge.
So great that he went there as well.
Huge, yeah. Dave Asprey, Will Cole. There's a really big American contingent there. Yeah. So it is a wonderful effort to get the likes of all of them across there, and it was well received. There were lots of people that attended, and I think it'll just grow each year and get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we've been talking a bit about the future of longevity, and is there anything else in terms of your work or what you saw last weekend where you think, oh, this is what's happening. This is what's happening now.
Yeah, I really do believe that this personalized bio-individual medicine is really the future. The genetic testing, the epigenetic testing to be able to measure all these biomarkers, the advancements with peptides. And I know like David Sinclair and like those amazing minds are working on something enormously beneficial. But I think that we have a lot of these peptides on the market now, and stem cells that can actually reverse and rejuvenate our systems. I'm really excited for that to become more available for the public as well.
Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? I'll be obviously, you probably know Kyle, do you, from Level Up Health?
I know. I haven't met him personally, but I'm familiar with.
Well, he's Australian, but he lives in New Zealand. So, and again, he's been on a quest to move somewhere where there's no mold, and that took him away from Australia to New Zealand. But yeah, his peptides are really interesting. I've been taking some of those recently. Now, Chris, before you go, and I've got to go in a minute because it's school run time.
That time of day, we know.
Yeah, that time of day. Yeah. So now, what is your routine? I really like hearing about, and I especially love asking parents about it as well, because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get some tips on how to magic up an extra 3 hours out of thin air. So what is your routine? How does it look in the morning? What are the sort of non-negotiables? Presumably you're not doing 4 hours of breath work before you because there's a lot to do when you've got 3 kids.
I've definitely don't have that amount of time. My day starts in the morning, typically 5:30. I will get up, go get some natural light, sun straight away. That's a non-negotiable for me. In the morning, big glass of water with some salt in it. And then typically 15-20 minutes of meditation, normally brain tap on.
Oh yeah.
That's something that really just sets the foundation for me in the day.
You like brain tap, do you?
Yeah, I love a brain tap.
Yeah.
And then it's either coffee, strong coffee, and then to the gym. And then, work out at the gym. Or if I don't go to the gym, it will be sauna followed by ice bath in the morning. And then straight dad hat on in the kitchen, making school lunches and breakfasts. And then, the rush off to school and then back.
So hang on. You're up way before they are you?
I am. Yeah, always. It's the only time I can get up and do those things before. Like my son wakes up at 5 or 5:30 normally. He's an early riser, but I normally try and beat my two girls. They sleep in a bit longer, it's the only time I could get up and do quiet meditation. And then
great, well done. But do you find you get enough sleep? Because I'm sort of thinking, well, that'd be great, but I'd have to go to bed about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, I typically go to bed around 9:30. And then up 5. So I'm probably getting like 7 hours on a good night. Last 2 nights have been horrendous. We've had so many mosquitoes, all this rain. And
really?
I go to bed and I've been woken up about 5 times during the night, getting bitten by mosquitoes. It's been horrible.
Oh dear, that's not good. That's not good.
No.
And then is there one of the things that I think is quite interesting is that I used to find living in the city that I would effortlessly do loads and loads of steps every day. And now I find the combination of living somewhere where actually there's not really sort of a massive commute. So I don't have to walk to the tube station, and I'm working and parenting most of the time. I don't do as many steps. How do you get enough steps into just like sort of moderate movement, not a workout in the gym, but it's just that sort of, if you're doing what you do, presumably you have to spend quite a lot of time in front of a laptop.
I do, mate. And I've got a stand-up desk, so I stand up all day. And like I said, the morning I get some steps in because we've got chickens that need to get fed. I've got 2 ponies down the bottom of the paddock, so I walk down this steep hill, feed the ponies, walk back up. So I'm definitely getting my steps
great.
in.
Yeah, you are the first guest we've had on Biohacking News who's got ponies at the bottom of the paddock. Oh, great stuff. Great stuff.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
No, it's awesome, mate. It's absolutely awesome. Let's talk about being at one with nature. Chris, I got to go. It's school run time. Thank you for coming on. I know it's late your time and early mine, so I really appreciate it. Where can people find out more about you and everything you do?
Thanks, Tone. It's been a pleasure, mate, coming on and chatting with you. They can reach me at Chris Barnes Wellness, Instagram, or on my website, chrisbarneswellness.com.au.
Oh, great. We haven't even had a chance to chat about the ashes, but I think that's just a different podcast.
Next time, mate.
People are going to be hitting the off button if I start talking about that, but I could talk about it for a long time, let me tell you. I've actually been vaguely thinking about starting a new podcast on Portuguese football. Because I've really got into it since I've been living here, but I've got a feeling that the Venn diagram of people who are interested in this podcast and that one is going to be quite small.
could be niche.
It's going to be very niche. Great to talk to you, Chris. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, mate. Cheers.
Thanks. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. Thanks so much. I'm going to carry on recording and just do a couple more intros after we finish. But really appreciate it. Really fun to chat. I'm so glad you reached out on LinkedIn.
Yeah, mate. Thanks so much for agreeing to do that. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can catch up at an event sometime
exactly.
In the future.
Yeah, I'll stay in touch and let's do another one next year.
Awesome.
If you ever want to bring a book out, that's a lot of my work these days is working with other experts I've written 9, but I work with other experts in wellness and biohacking and longevity now. And
I'd love to have that conversation, mate, because it's actually on my radar for this next 12 months. I'd love to have one published.
Yeah, I was just thinking because your set of skills and your experience and your story is quite different from anyone else out there. It's a bit different to the likes of David Sinclair and what they do. Plus, you're good at telling stories, and I think that's the most, most important thing.
I've got a few. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just more important, isn't it? Like some of the best experts in the business, if their books, if it's too dry, it's not interesting, so that's the most important.
Hit it all, mate. Absolutely. No, I'd love to learn about how you can support with that. That's awesome.
Anytime you want to chat about it, very happy to.
Thanks,
I'm
mate.
working on I'm working with someone writing a book on longevity in Portugal at the moment. Actually, it's really fun because we've been trying to sort of kick around some ideas based around, is Portugal the new blue zone, which has actually been a really fun concept to bring into the book. Yeah.
What's it like in Portugal? Is it a nice place to live?
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's very calm. It's obviously the weather's great, but there's a lovely sense of community here. The food is sort of pretty simple. Not many seed oils, and a bit more of a traditional way of life. Actually, it's like the schools are more traditional. The upbringing is more traditional, and it's bloody lovely for kids. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, awesome, mate.
Yeah. Cool. Chris, thank you so much.
I know you have to get your kids to school.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I'm gonna dash. See you soon.
See you, champ.
Take care. Bye.